For 1,000 years, I pursued him. The serpent. A monster so vile, even the gods trembled at his name. And yet, no matter where he went, I followed. Through forests thick with shadow, across oceans that defied time itself. Each strike, each wound, brought me closer. When I finally drove my arrow into its heart, I ended his curse that lingered for far too long. That day, I thought at last, the hunt was over. But now I find myself in a world I do not know. The forests are gone, the rivers reduced to concrete veins, and the air is thick with the steam of modern machinations. Yes, in this new world, I am no longer the hunter of legends, no longer chasing monsters through untamed lands. It seems the game has changed, and so must I. This is merely a new sport to master. Welcome to the hunt. Welcome to the hunt. And now, let us move. We'll get a little more comfortable in a little bit, but first, I thought I'd show up a little bit. Hello everyone. As you can see, I haven't been around the modern era for too long. There's a lot of things I still need to learn, but I hope you're willing to learn with me, to teach me a few things. And I can teach you about the hunt and many other things. And yes, you can call me Artie. I've seen a few times in chat. I'm a little surprised at how quickly everyone immediately started calling me Artie. I can't say it's the most flattering nickname, but at the same time, well, it does make it easier for you, so I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. And thank you for the compliments. Artemis Prime. That's right. Artemis Prime here at your service. Now, welcome Athena. Welcome everyone. I've seen many members of Mythos here as well. Thank you all for coming. I suppose it's rude if I don't show my face for you all today. There we are. I'll be telling you a bit about myself today. I'm a little nervous, as you might tell. It's being on the hunt for as long as I have. I don't get to be as social as much as I'd like. So for today, to start, I think I brought my hunting journal here today to teach you all a little bit about myself. Let's start together, shall we? So, a little bit about me. My name is Artemis. I am the lunar god of the hunt. I sort of forgot my age after a while. You don't really celebrate that while you're out on the hunt, you know. There are more important matters on hand, but I figure it might be nice to celebrate with you all later. My birthday is March 2nd. I speak English and a little bit of Japanese.
でも、私の日本語はちょっと悪いだから、今は勉強します。だから、はじめまして、よろしくお願いします。
And my occupation, as it says, I am the lunar god of the hunt. So my domain resides in all of the things lunar, so the moon is my territory, and everything to do with the hunt. Now understand that there's no limits to the hunt. The hunt is a challenge. The hunt is an endeavor. The hunt is prey, and I'm always on the hunt. Alright, so that's that one. It's pretty simple for the about me. I think the best way to learn about each other is to spend time together. So, I hope you'll look forward to that. Now, let's see next. Yes, likes and dislikes. So, likes, I really thought of food. So, sushi, oysters, and basically anything that can be cooked over a campfire. I've had boar. I'm curious about alligator. I've hunted it, but haven't gotten to eat it myself. Let's see. Well, basically, if it's game meat, it's game for me. And then for music, I've been learning a bit of music, especially for Apollo. I know Apollo is a huge fan of music, and she wants to sing together, so I've tried to keep myself up to date to learn as much as I can about different types of music. So we have rock, show tunes, J-pop and J-rock, classical jazz. I do know everyone's been telling me a lot about Epic the Musical, which I have been a big fan of, and I would like to learn more about it later. But I would say most music is on the table for me. I just like to learn about the different fields of the world, the different battlegrounds, the different challenges. Which is why, as you saw in my lore video, the idea behind that, my thoughts are, the stage is a battleground. And if it can exist on a stage, and if it can be a form of competition, if it can be a form of a hunt, then that is my domain, and that's where I'll reign. There's also anime, so some of my favorites are Code Geass, Toradora, Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, Darker Than Black, and Steins Gate. I think with most forms of media that I've been learning about, I don't really have a particular genre that I stay to. I mean, I've learned to enjoy drama as well as romance, and a few other things as well. Although, I do think some of the classics are, well, more fitting for me. Oh, someone recognizes Darker Than Black. I don't see a lot of that nowadays. Let's see, Final Fantasy X is probably my favorite game that I've played so far, although Final Fantasy XVI is actually a pretty close second. I'm a fan of it. Soulsborne games, I like Dark Souls, Elden Ring, I'm a little bit mixed on Bloodborne, but we'll find out a bit more about that another day. But I like games that give me a challenge, and I definitely think that Soulsborne games and other things by From Software do a wonderful job of that. Oh, I do actually like Kingdom Hearts as well. That actually probably should have been on here. You're right, my tweet did give that away. Kingdom Hearts is also probably one of my most beloved series. And then there's Super Smash Bros., which I will likely be playing here on stream as well. The Nier series. I actually am a bit more of a fan of the original Nier over Automata, though, so I'm still learning. What's my opinion on the Roman Empire? I am envious that they have the Colosseums, as much as the Greek Pantheon has its own fair share of wondrous, well, commodities. I am a fan of the idea of the Colosseum. I even wanted to do things with it, but there's not a lot I can do for it, which is unfortunate in the end. Let's see. Oh, right, my dislikes. There's not a lot to that list. I do despise mustard. I don't understand why anyone likes mustard. I suppose it goes well when you mix it with some things, but I do not understand why anyone likes mustard, so that's probably my main dislike. And then paper cuts. Paper cuts, see, if you're punched in the face, it's a very straightforward pain, but when it's a paper cut, I feel like you don't get used to a paper cut. I guess my dislikes are more like minor inconveniences, except for scorpions. Scorpions are bastards. If there's one animal, one creature in this realm that will forever be hunted by me until the end of time, it will be scorpions. I don't mess with poison, and I don't mess with things that if you are hit once, it's over. But I was stung by a scorpion once in my sleep. And ever since that day, I drew vengeance. What do you mean, L? I swear. Look, I can fight when I'm awake. No one can fight when they're asleep. I guess that's something to learn, I suppose. Scorpion L. It did have an L afterwards. We did chop up the scorpion afterwards. I was not having it. Let's see. And as you can see here, these are basically a bit of schematics to my bow, which you can see here. My bow can be split into dual swords, a bit more flexible for hunting. But at the same time, it always just stays on my back. I don't need to put anything there, it just sort of floats behind me. Can I shoot down a star? There's nothing I can't hunt. Living, breathing, or not, if it can be hunted, it will be mine. Let's see. And we call this my Lunai bow. And one day, I'm hoping that I get to show you me shooting my bow a bit better. I mean, is that you? So as I pray, unlimited blade works. No, but I am a fan myself. As I mentioned, Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero. But let's see, what do we have next? Oh, wrong side. My fan stuff. I was told a bit about this before. Oh, don't worry, we'll get to the voice acting things. So fan stuff, we have my live tag is Hunting Circle. And there were a lot of things with hunting in guilds that I wanted to go with, but unfortunately, it seemed that everything was taken, so I had to do what I could. We have my art tag, Fan Artemis. A bit simple, but sweet, I'd like to say. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that if it works. And to those of you who have already been putting things in that tag, thank you very much. It has been absolutely wonderful these last couple of weeks, seeing the fun things that everyone's been putting together and how much everyone has been looking forward to this. I appreciate every single one of you for that. And I'm hoping that eventually I can do something where we show appreciation on those days. I want to do something, perhaps a Fan Art Friday once a month, where we go through and look at some of the nice art that's been made over the course of the month. But that's something to consider later, I suppose. I do have a not safe for work tag. I personally will likely not be having any NSFW work myself. It's not necessarily that I have anything against it. I just don't think I'm very much suited for it. But I did want to give a tag for those of you who wanted to be creative and allow yourself the creative expression to create something not safe for work. So something that everyone came up with was Artemissionary. I can appreciate a good pun at the very least. And then in memes, we have Artememes. Now that I think about it, a lot of my tags are quite simple, aren't they? Well, no need to overcomplicate things at the very least. We love puns? Don't worry, I'm trying to learn more. Everyone in the modern era seems to be quite witty with puns. I will catch up. There's a lot of things I'll be learning. And as I do, well, we'll grow together. And then we have clippings. In clippings, we have simply art clippings. So that'll be if anyone wants to take clips from the channel and post them. I'm terrible at realizing when there are clippable moments, but I do find it fun looking at what everyone else enjoyed. And yes, I saw a few people mentioning it before, but we came up with moondrops for what to call all of you. And, well, it's sort of a parallel to Apollo's sundrops. We weren't entirely sure. We had some ideas like Hunters, my pack, but we thought moondrops would be cute, and, well, everyone's been unbelievably supportive and sweet, so I thought that would be fitting. And then lastly, on here, we have my Oshi mark, which is a bow and a crescent moon together. So if you ever want to show that, I think they say that if I am your Oshi, or the phrase is Kami Oshi, I believe, then feel free to use that, so I can see and smile when I notice it. And then we have a little wolf here down there. Do enjoy some wolves. And as you can see here, my trusty hunting pack. Pokemon. I am a fan of Pokemon as well. We have Lucario, Arcanine, Mimikyu, and Absol in the photo. We will be seeing some Pokemon on this channel later. Let's see. But we still have slides to go through. We can talk a bit more afterwards. Don't worry. Goals. This is a big one. So I have a number of goals that I would like to achieve. Whether it be short term for some of these, maybe achieving them within the course of a year. Some of them may not be something I achieve within 5. But regardless, I've decided that no matter what happens, I wish to attempt them regardless. So the first is hit Twitch partner. And that's something that I think everyone can sympathize with. It feels sort of like a rite of passage. So the title of partner will be my first hunt. After that will be to hit 10,000 followers. I think that should be reasonable within this year, right? Regardless, we have to start small. I don't want to be too ambitious. If I don't keep that in check, then who will? Release an original song. Yes, so as I said earlier, I've been learning about music in the modern era. And, well, I have gained a bit of a taste for music. And as some of you may have seen, I did sing a little bit on Twitter already. And, sorry, I saw the Shika Noko Noko, and every time I hear that, it just makes me giggle. So, I've never composed a song of my own, or worked with anyone to make a song for me specifically. So, that's something I would absolutely love to do. As well, you might get a theme, but I like to be ambitious with my projects. I don't like the idea of settling for less. If I'm going to attempt something, I'd rather go big or go home. So then afterwards is host a major tournament. You notice that doesn't have a specific number to it. It doesn't have a specific type of tournament. The thing for me is I don't necessarily have a limit to the type of tournament I want to run. I want to run, I want to run esports events. I want to run competitions. I want to run gauntlets. I want to make everyone else understand the thrill of the hunt. Fighting game tournaments, correct. So I was thinking things possible like Smash Brothers, Tekken, Street Fighter, but also potentially things like singing competitions, voice acting competitions. There's no limit as long as the competition and the hunt is there. That is what I want to do. And now next, I see, so run a bucket list gauntlet. Now, this is something I'll be talking about more next week during Just Chatting streams, but I've spent a lot of time away from the world, so I want to experience more of it. I want to achieve more, to experience more, to spread the breadth of my world. And with that, what I want to do is make a list of things that I should try or achieve over the course of this year. Sort of like, I believe it was Markiplier and someone else, Ethan, that made Unis Honest. I was a big fan of that, and I wanted to try something similar almost. I want to best enjoy the modern realm and learn more about it. Let's see, voice in my first anime video game. Yes, as I mentioned, or as some of you may have gathered, I do very much enjoy voice acting. And over the course of these streams together, I'm sure you'll all notice that over time, I'm going to show you some tricks and a few more ideas and such of the type of voice acting that I've learned. How would I put it? I know I could learn animal calls, but instead I've learned a different type of vocal mimicry. for a different kind of hunt. I guess you could say all of you are my prey, this time at least. But yes, my goal would be to voice in some anime or video game together. Well, not necessarily together. I'd want to show you me acting in something. What type of voice acting character-wise would you prefer? I think I've always been suited, unfortunately, to heroes or villains. I know I need to practice my work on side characters, but, well, I'll show you everything I can do with performances later. Next, become an android. I've always been a fan of Good Smile's works, from what I've learned, and I think that it would be really cute to just have an android. And that's a goal that I don't imagine to be attainable anytime soon, but I'd rather strive for a goal than to avoid it for lack of trying. Artemis Nendo would go hard? I would hope so. The android the second it comes out, that is a goal. The day where I am able to have an android. And then, I think we're seeing a pattern here, but be a character in a video game. Now, this one's just sort of a broad goal, but the idea of being able to see myself in a game, me, not necessarily just my voice, but being able to either pick a character or load up a game and seeing myself on screen. Something about that just sounds oddly satisfying. Mythos fighting game? You know, with the roster we have at this point, that actually sounds like a fun idea. I hope someone does something like that someday. I would definitely play that. And then lastly on this list for now, we have release a full song album. I intend at some point to host concerts, games, shows, events. I wish to make the hunting ground that is the stage my playing field, my hunting ground. And so if I can release my own full album, I hope that someday I can perform an entire concert of my own original music for all of you. A bit of a lofty dream, but I'm hoping that it doesn't sound too far out there. Let's see. Either way, we will strive for it together. Whatever goals, whatever journeys, whatever the bucket list, whatever the tournament, whatever the goal, whatever we strive for, we'll do it together, right? Using an arena for non-combat entertainment. I mean, an arena can be used for any number of things in the end. Can we duet cover Broken by Amy Ian Seether? I'm not sure I'm familiar with that song. I'm still learning a lot myself. All in us, all together, all in us, all at once. But that should be it for our debut slides.